Hey y'all, so I just want to share a word of encouragement with y'all. It's going to be particularly for my people that be seeking validation, or just like if you struggle with people pleasing tendencies, if you're super like perfectionistic, like you have those types of tendencies, it's mainly going to be for you. And know that, I'm raising my hand because that be me. And it's really just a mindset shift that I want to share with y'all, because a lot of the time when we do things, our natural inclination is to do it for people, right? When you're at work, you're working for people. When you're serving for people. You're doing something that is for the benefit of somebody else in some way, shape, or form. Even if you create content, like you're doing this because you're doing it for somebody else to receive something. The same way that I'm making this video, for example. And by me making this video, I'm doing it because I'm wanting to encourage somebody, you on the other end that's watching it, right? So a lot of the time it's easy for us to get into the mindset of the fact that we're doing things for people, right? And so I'm praying that the Lord just gives you revelation. It's not to say that, it's not to be selfish or anything like that, but like legitimately, when you're serving, when you're doing something for somebody else, it's like shifting our mindset from doing it for somebody else to just doing it for God. Like, it's not for somebody else. When we serve, when we work, when we make a video, when we make a post, when we do whatever we do, we're not doing it with the intention to do it for somebody else. And it's a slight mindset shift, but it makes such a big difference. Instead of me making this video because I want to do this for the other person on the screen, which that is going to end up being the result, right? Instead of that being my mindset when I do what I do, it's no, this is my worship to God. And from that, somebody gets blessed. Right? This is the mindset. I'm praying that this makes sense, because sometimes if we're in the mindset of, oh, let me do this for somebody else, right? Let me create this for somebody. Let me share this for somebody. It's not wrong, right? And that's essentially what we're doing, but our mindset puts us in a place where we feel like we're tied to their reception of that thing, or we're tied to the result of what happens from that. When if we just focused on the fact that it was just for God, that everything that was our only goal. Essentially, that the goal is not for somebody to be blessed from my video. That's not the goal. That's going to happen prayerfully, but that's not my intention. That's not what I'm coming on here to do this for. You get what I'm saying? I'm doing this because I love the Lord, and I'm doing this for Him. Like, it's my worship to the Lord. Like, it's my heart wanting to do something for Him. It's no strings attached. Like, it's purely just for the fact that I love Him, and I love talking about Him, and I love sharing about Him. And it's about Him. Right? It's not about people on YouTube like y'all watching the video and being blessed, even though that's going to be a result from my passion of wanting to just serve the Lord. So it's like, we serve people, yes, but we serve people because we served God first. Right? And so this is why I'm praying that this makes sense. If it makes sense, please drop it in the comments, y'all, because it's a small mindset shift, but it makes such a big difference, because now you're no longer tied to the validation of somebody else, right? Because your only real goal was to please the Lord. It wasn't about somebody being blessed. It wasn't about somebody oohing and ahhing. It wasn't about somebody falling out. It wasn't about somebody else. It was only about God. But then when you expand that into just the grander scheme of life, it's realizing that you no longer have to be tied to people's opinions and perceptions and all of these things, because life is not about people. It's not about other people. It's about God. Like, it's just about Jesus. So when I come home at the end of the day and I feel like this person misunderstood me and that made me look bad, and man, why did I say that? And all of the things that can make me think all of the many things, that I can rest in knowing, wow, but thank God that my life is not about that. My life isn't even about me. Like, it's just about God. It's like a bubble. It's like you live in a bubble where it's just you and God. Like it's just him that matters. These other things, all of the other things that people could say, all of the other things that people could do, that them things don't matter. The only thing that matters, like I wish I could just like hammer it into every person's brain on the face of the planet. Like the only thing that matters is him. And when he's the only thing that matters, nothing else that people could say, that people could do, that people could think, you don't care about those things anymore. I'm trying to tell y'all, like, this is what's happening in my life. And that's why I want to share it with y'all, because it's like, it's like it's so simple, but it's earth shattering, because like, wow, I'm not tied to these things. I'm not tied to all of these things. And that's why God really just wants us to focus on him. When the Bible says, just fix your eyes on Jesus, like just think about him, just do it for him. So everything you do, just do it for the Lord. And all of everything else that happens, people being blessed, people coming to know Jesus, people doing whatever your other like secondary goal would be, like to grow a business, to grow a ministry, to do whatever it is, that's gonna be, it's like it's a ripple effect of what would happen if you just did everything for the Lord. And mind you, like how freeing it is to know that even if people don't like what you do, or people aren't blessed, or these things don't happen, because you only did it for the Lord, if he's pleased, that's the only criteria that we all have to have. Yes, we should always strive for excellence. Yes, we should always have our standards high. We should always do things to the best of our abilities. Try to meet every metric that you possibly can. But at the end of the day, it's not about hitting every goal. It's not about meeting every metric. Even if we strive to do our best, to strive to do to achieve excellence, at the end of the day, if God is pleased, it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. It doesn't matter if it wasn't excellent. It doesn't matter if it was a complete mess, because our agenda is so much different than God's agenda at the end of the day, right? So when you make content, when you share something, whatever you do it because you just want your only goal is to please the Lord. That's it. And do you know how freeing that is? Because if your heart is really for the Lord, he's pleased no matter what you do. It could be amazing in our eyes. It could be a complete flop in our eyes. But because it's like God, I'm not gonna cry, because God's love for us is so different. It's like he is pleased if you even, whatever you did, like if you did it for him with a genuine heart, like he's pleased. And it's having that mindset, because even though we want to do our best, we want to strive for excellence always, even if we don't, if it doesn't hit the mark, if people aren't blessed, if nobody watches, if the whole business fails, if whatever happens, you can be content in knowing that the Lord is pleased. Because the focus was not on other people. It wasn't focused on other things. It was just about him. It was about his glory. It was about pleasing him. It was about doing it for him. No strings attached. Does that make sense? I pray that this makes sense. And I feel like it was a little bit all over the place, but I'll come back and share more because there's a lot more. But I love y'all. Don't forget to like the video, y'all. Please like the video. Subscribe to the channel if it blessed you. And I'll see y'all in my next video.